Welcome to the refill. Welcome to the refill. I'm your host, Ron Daniel. Today we got another great show for you. Listen, if you've been following us every Thursday, every Friday, you already know how we get down. But if you don't, if this is your first time tuning in, this is a gospel rap show that celebrates everything gospel rap, from the artists, the DJs, the promoters, the influencers, everybody who make gospel rap, rock and roll, global wide, city to city, state to state. Listen, tonight we got another great show. We got another great artist. We got the West Coast in the house tonight. We got the West Coast. Last week we had the South. The week before we had the East Coast. Hey, we had the West Coast the week before that, but tonight we got the West Coast. We got Gil Gatsby. But before we bring them on, listen, remember to like, share this on your page. Listen, let your partners, let your friends, your neighbors, everybody on your page, let them know what we're doing. We're doing something great. If you get down what we're doing, share this, like, comment. If you got questions, leave your questions in the comments. We will answer your questions. Listen, also, if you like what we're doing, we ask you to donate a small seed, a big seed, to help us continue to grow this platform. Listen, we're not gonna take too much long. We're gonna bring on Gil Gatsby. He gonna introduce himself to the people. What's good, bro?
What's going on with you, bro? It's the Refill Show. I'm here. Gil Gatsby, the great. Greetings from California.
Yes,
I came to
sir.
have some fun, answer any questions you have for me, man. Thank you for reaching out. Always a humbling experience when somebody reaches out to me and says they want to just chop it up about God and about music and the whole nine. So that's what I'm here to do, man. So greetings again from the boss himself, Gil
Yes, sir.
Gatsby.
Already,
bro?
Man, I'm chilling, man. Chilling, working, man. On this good Thursday. I wish I was outside, but we here to take care of some business. It's looking good outside. It's one of them days where we gotta work, but we want to be outside with the family and just chill out for a little bit. Listen, bro. I always lead off with this question, man. About we want to know who Gil Gatsby is. I talked to you briefly before. We tuned up. I told you how I got my first glimpse, my first whiff of who Gil Gatsby is. But bro, introduce yourself to the people, man, and let me lead off with this real quick. Let us know or tell us how you got into gospel rap. We know God and Jesus and all that, but what was it that led you to gospel rap?
Absolutely. So Gil Gatsby the Great, man. I'm coming up on, I don't have my watch on, but like 24, 25 years.
Right.
Really pushing for the gospel throughout the entire time. So when I first started doing music, I just did it just to fit in with my friends. I was a basketball player by trade. That's what I love to do. But when my boys came through, I used to cook them too bad. They didn't want to play. They just wanted to rap. And when they started rapping, I was like, man, I don't know how to do this. So I wanted to fit in with my folks at first. And so what I would do is when they would leave, I would grab the pen and the pad, write a verse. And when they would come through, I would just rap the verse for them. In my first 5 or 6 raps, it wasn't really gospel. I was just rapping. And it was terrible. And so I did go to church the entire time. So I remember I took a song by 112. It was on the tape deck, and we used to get the recorder and record it, over the boom box.
Right.
I wrote a verse to "Only You" by 112, but about "Only You, Lord, Only You I'ma Serve," and I played it for my first lady, Sister Terry Taylor at the Safe House, and she said, "Hey, I'm gonna take you to the Christian bookstore. I want you to get whatever CDs you want, tapes you want, because I think you can, do this. You have a talent for this." And so that's how it all kind of started for me. The first album I heard was, of course, Gospel Gangsters, being that I'm in California, and then also hearing Cross Movement, the House of Representatives. So I was introduced, West Coast is in me by blood, but I was introduced to just like that different flow from Cross Movement. And so then I began to start rapping for real and really taking it serious. And they asked us to do a youth service. And I looked at my god brother because he rapped with me, and I said, this is what I'm supposed to do. I want to use my gifts and my talents to glorify God. So a couple years passed, and I'm in high school, and I'm going up there all happy to rap for the Lord. And I got booed, bro. Wow, they booed me. They told me, get up out of here. They start clapping and singing Stomp while I was rapping.
No, boy.
I said, what they do? They singing Stomp like this. I'm tripping. So I
Right.
walked home that day and I was like, man, from this point forward, anytime they hear me rap, I'm gonna go hard for the kingdom. I'm gonna go
Already.
hard for God. And that's where the passion came. So it started off just me wanting to fit in with my folks. Then it became something that I really wanted to do. And then later on, greater is he that is in me than he that is in the world. I knew that early, and that's why I kind of took that aggression, and that's why I became Gil Gatsby, the rapper you hear today.
Already. Look here, bro. I'm sitting there laughing how you said, hey, bro, we all been there, man. Well, either boo.
Um,
Look, I done been to show. I done rapped in shows where they just looking at you, man, like
yeah,
no
yeah,
applause. They just like, man, who is this dude? We didn't come.
absolutely,
We didn't come here for this tonight. We want to hit a Christian jubilees. This dude up here in these baggy clothes,
exactly,
hollering on the microphone. All we heard him say was Jesus all night.
exactly.
Get your butt off the stage.
Exactly.
We ain't come to
Get the
right.
Holy Ghost.
Right, get
We need
that.
to get the Holy Ghost.
And look. I done had deacons. Some places I've been trying to pull me to the side and be like, "Hey, bro, make sure this is what you supposed to be doing." I said, "No, I'm soaked in this thing. I know I'm supposed to be doing this." Bro, let me ask you this, man.
Talk
So
to me.
now you in gospel rap and
Yeah,
you moving around and you getting your first
yeah,
looks at it. Let me say the two. Shout out to Gospel Gangsters, man. Solo that passed away. Shout out to that
absolutely,
brother, man. Yeah, shout out to
absolutely.
him, man. And look here, I had just I'm talking about he had hit me on Facebook. I don't know the cat. We
Yeah,
just kind of linked up on Facebook, and then about a month later, man, the Lord took him home. And
yeah,
shout out to the Gospel Gangsters. Shout out to Cross
absolutely,
Movement. And
absolutely.
bro,
Pillars in the game.
yes
Pillars. Yeah,
sir, yes sir.
yeah,
So
yeah,
now you in gospel rap. You trying to put your first album, your first project together. Walk us through that process, the headaches behind it, the success
yeah,
behind it.
yeah.
What did people think about it when you first put that first project together?
Yeah. So when I put my first project together, it was me and three other brothers, and we did our first project freshman year in college. So
Mm,
before we first put out that project, we used to just hold Bible studies and prayer circles, and we all had swag and drip, and we was cool, and
right,
girls thought we was cute, and the dudes thought we was cool. And anytime we had the ability to share God's word, we would. But the
right.
fact that we love rap, we would just jump into a cipher, freestyle, do whatever we would do. And it came a day where it was like 100 people or more that surrounded us while we were rapping. And I rapped and freestyle for like no exaggeration, like maybe 20, 30 minutes.
Mm,
And when we were on our way home, I'm like, man, we could really use our tools and gospel now, create a project and go, try and save souls and really hit the world. So
right,
that
right.
first, that first tape for us, we were really excited, but we were really just MCs. We didn't really know how to make a hit song per se. It
Mm,
was just, what's the beat? Let me hear it. It's four of us. So I think we was like the gospel Wu Tang or G Unit.
right,
Four of us.
right.
We all wanted to get 16s on it. So all our songs were 4 minutes or more. So it took us the first album to really figure out what our sound was, what we were really trying to do. And it's crazy. I'll get in the car with you. There was a show we did. We had our first album out and we were doing well. And somebody invited us to come to a prestigious church in LA. And there was 1,500 people there. And as soon as we hit the stage, my bro had braids, some khakis on. I had my hat low. My other dude, he was dressed crazy. And as soon as we came up, the elders of the church made everybody sit down. So we
Mm,
rapped for about 15 minutes. Nobody clapped. Nobody said anything. It was like the longest. It was like somebody was punking us. Like they
mm,
loved us and they wanted us to come out. But then once we got there, they didn't let anybody rock for us. And the first thing they said when we got off the stage was, all right, now let's have some real church.
yeah,
And
been there. I've been there, bro.
and the broke us like real
Right,
church. You didn't really give us a chance or
right.
listen to lyrical content. And somebody on the way out was like, "What scripture do you stand on? And where do y'all go to church? And who's your pastor?" And we were able to answer every question. But on that way home, it was a quiet trip home because it said, "Okay, now we know what we're up against." Because we thought we had
Mm-hmm.
like a built-in fan base, and because we love Jesus, everybody would rock with us. But that wasn't the case. We had to change up and make sure that the music was appealing to everyone. And if they didn't rock with the music, we just shook the Timbo boots and kept moving
Yes,
to the next
sir.
destination. Absolutely.
Yes, sir, bro. I've been there, man. I'm listening to you. It's like I'm looking at a mirror right now, man. For real. I'm not making this up, man.
Yeah,
Hey, me and my wife, look here, bro. We been down through there, man. I'm talking about
yeah,
been in the
yeah,
same situations. You go to these churches, and
yeah.
it's gotten better. But
Right.
early on, it was like you go, you perform, They just looking at you. They trying to question. I had cats come by the table. I'm talking about these are elders in the church, wherever we went to. They would come by the table. And I'm talking about pick up the CD, look at it and be like, hey, Jesus didn't rap. Why you rapping? I'm like, say, man, but see, I'm grown, so I would tell them cats, say, man, you need to move from the table, man. If you ain't here to buy no merch, you ain't here to get one of these T-shirts, one of these wristbands, one of these CDs, man, you can go. And look here, and this was at an outside event, man. I'm talking about, man, we was outside. It's like 100 in the South. It get hot for real. Yes, sir. It's skillet hot. When it's 100, it's 100. And so now when it's 100, I feel like it's 120. So we outside. This cat come by the table asking us, oh, Jesus didn't rap. I don't really approve of that. So I just didn't have time to get into that with him because I'm like, I know who told me. And let me take you back, bro.
Okay, talk to me.
Cause I tell cats, I said when God got hold to me, and I talk about it probably about every other show. I tell cats, I said, they always say, man, how you get into gospel rap? And I tell them, I said, well, I didn't know no gospel rappers. I was coming back from a trip, just kicking it from Memphis to casinos, drinking, smoking. And the next day, God spoke to me and said, hey, you better stop doing what you're doing. And so it was like 3, 4, maybe almost 6 months later when he said, do gospel rap. And I was like, I don't know what a gospel rapper look like. I don't know how they sound, dress, none of that. So I know where you're coming from, bro. Let me ask you this, man. Okay. So now, you went head on, met some resistance. What was some of the successes from that first album when you put it out there?
So the success from that first album, so we printed our first 1,000 CDs,
right?
And they were going pretty quick, like that first 1,000, and then now we're pretty much touring around the inner city. We in California, we up north, we're everywhere,
right?
And the blessing to us was when we would go to different churches and we could do altar call at the end of the show and really see people get blessed and see people get saved. Because when we would do shows, I would say the first maybe 30 or 40 shows, we weren't trying to get paid.
But
we just wanted to rock. We just wanted to rap. We love hip hop. We all had a 9 to 5. And when we did it, it was just a tool because at an early age, God told me that I was a pastor. And the brothers that I were with at the same time had a heart for ministry. So I said, hey, maybe we can just take this music. Someone will invest in this and we can just focus on using music as a tool to bring people in and take that finance and build the church God has for it.
Right.
And then we would be good. So it was never about being the most famous rapper or being the greatest rapper there was. It was about just using the talent. So to see people get saved at shows, to see people come up and ask for an autograph was cool. But the fact that they were like, yo, I'm going to throw the weed away. I'm not going to smoke anymore. I need accountability. That's what it was. That's what it was about for us because we took the challenge at 18, 19 years old to say, if nobody else is going to stand for righteousness, we going to stand for righteousness. We going to be the difference. We going to look different. We going to dress different. We going to stand out. We all can preach the gospel. If the music stopped, we can break into a whole praise session. But by the outer appearance, people didn't see that. But once they heard the music and they connected, oh man, the flocks came in. And what the Bible say, if he be lifted up, he'll draw all men. So from that first album, if Instagram and Twitter and Facebook would have been around at that time, it would have been crazy because we were really rocking for the kingdom. So to see people get saved, college and older, to come to us for godly counsel and how do you not do this and how do you walk away from those things was the biggest blessing. And that motivated my career from that day to this present day to not lose sight of what we're supposed to do because people are being blessed.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And if y'all listening to this, especially the gospel rappers, you getting game tonight. It's all game tonight and it's free tonight. Listen, you said something that's so key that I personally think is missing in gospel rap in 2021 when you said, hey, the autographs is cool. Yes, the money cool. Folks, clapping you up and dapping you up are cool. But for cats to come up and say, hey, I really need to change the way I live. I really need to put that weed down. I need to stop trapping out here. I need to put the dope down. I really need to think about getting saved, bro. And I love the way you hit that. That's why I know I'm listening to you. I'm telling you, bro, it's like I'm looking at a mirror, man. Been there, bro. When I tell you been there, done that, man, you took me back when I'm listening to you. You took me back to a time. Again, it was another outside show. Probably about 400 folks out there. It was like at a park, at a pavilion. Man, we just going in. I'm talking about track after track. And they was like,
Yeah.
hey, give us some more. 'Cause we only went there to do about 2-3 songs. They was like,
Yeah.
give us some more. So we gave them some of that gumbo. We in it now. We giving it to them now.
So,
And so giving it to them, man, stirring it up. Sweating, look at sweating. The J's getting dirty outside. The fitted hat sweating. Yes, sir.
yeah.
At the end of the show,
Okay.
Lil Cat walk up to me. He was nervous. I didn't know he was nervous. Like, hey man, who these dudes coming to my city? These boys are hype. You know how it is. These boys come up, they kind of nervous. And so he walked up to me. He said, hey man, he said, I got a mixtape about to hit the streets like right now. He said, but he said something told me to not put it out there. And so I was just telling him, I said, that ain't something. I said, that's God speaking to you. And I said, so I told him, I said, hey, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if I'm going to ever see you again. So the first thing we did, me and the team that had the time, we just brought bro in and just prayed with him and say, hey, Lord, use him for however you see fit. And went on, and hopefully he threw that mixtape away. But bro, I know, man, cats coming up and I'm listening to it. I'm like, to me, that's the essence of gospel rap. The essence of the secular boys is to trap and get that money and promote any sin as possible. The essence of gospel rap is to get to the souls. And I hope for cats listening to this tonight, you get in the game. And it's free tonight. We ain't even charge y'all tonight. It's free. Free game tonight. Free game one-on-one. Bro, yes, sir. Bro.
I'm with you, look.
So,
I'm with you. Yes, question.
Yes, sir.
I've been through the same thing outside. There was a show that we did in the beginning where it was an outreach, and it was 105 degrees. We sweating. Mm-hmm. We got on our merchandise ready to go, and it was one dude who sat in the middle of the dirt, because it was in like a dirt old park in California, and he sat there for 45 minutes and listened to every lyric that we said. He didn't leave, and we didn't have an ego either to say, man, nobody out here, and he just sitting there, we're gonna leave.
But
out of a larger territory when you're faithful. So you may have to start with just that one, but that one was blessed because he bought all merchandise we had, or I think actually we gave him everything we had. He wanted to buy it. We gave it to him. We prayed for him. We connected with him, stayed in contact with him for a long time, because it showed us at that very moment, we're not bigger than anyone. If it just hits one at that time, it was a blessing. And from that, it just kind of showed us, hey, just be faithful right here. In this one show, and then that turned into multiple. So God, I feel like God put us in a position to say, are you going to still give your all if there's one person or if there's 1,000 people?
Yes,
so we went to where 1,500 and nobody would rock with us at all. But we had that same heart, that same tenacity when it was just one, and God blessed us. So it's important to just go hard for those who are online, who are tuning in. No matter if it's 1 million people, no matter if it's one person, give God your all, because you're going to bless somebody in the process. You just got to be faithful. Make sure that your lifestyle lines up with it, because that person that's sitting in the dirt may need deliverance, and you may be the smile, the handshake, the free T-shirt that they need to say, yo, he's introducing me to real love. I need to get to know who Jesus is.
Yes, sir. Already. Look here. I guess God. I guess the Lord putting. Look here. Even before we start these shows, I'm like, Lord, lead it. Cause we come on. We don't. I done been in the game so long. I don't come with no script. I just say, hey, who we got on? Let me do a little research on the artists, and we gonna roll. But tonight, I think the Lord is saying, give these boys some free game tonight, because these cats need to hear what you saying. Because a lot of cats, they want to grab the mic, they want to go straight to the crowd, and they don't want to do no street ministry. They don't want to get out there when it's just two people out there. Bro, I done rapped in front of two people. I'm talking about literally two people, and we was like, man, we done drove all this way. It ain't no but two folks here. And look at, and I'm talking about subtract all the artists that's on the list, on the bill. I remember going to a show in 5 hours away in Alabama.
Okay.
We drove there. I'm talking about, bro, driving through real cotton fields, bro.
Yeah.
We pull up, them cotton fields was taking me back. I was like, man, Lord, thank you for our ancestors, God. They was out here. And I'm driving through there, man. We pull up. And me and the promoter, we still cool to this day. And so, man, we pulled up, man. I'm talking about minus the artists. Maybe 3 or 4 people in that audience, bro. And so,
5-hour trip.
Yes, sir. 5-hour trip, man. And look here, the only thing we got out of a bro said, he told me, he said, look, I can't pay you what I said I was going to pay you. I'm going to give you $20. He gave me 20. He looked at me. He was kind of like, shame to give it to me. I said, man, let me tell you something. I said, bro, You just blessed us with some rally burgers with cheese on it, Joker. I said, we finna take this back to the house. So we turned around and drove back 5 hours. But what I was telling everybody in the car, because they was like, man, wasn't nobody there. I said, man, look, I said, God had us there for those 4 people. And to fellowship with the other gospel rap artists that was there. I said, that's what it was for. And then the very next show, it was like so many other people that, at the next show. So, bro, you hitting on the head because a lot of cats, they coming in the game, they coming in gospel rap, they want to, without no, what I like to call going through that spiritual boot camp of just God saying, okay, I'm going to put you in front of a couple of people just to see what you going to do. You know, you going to rap in front of a couple of people. I can put you in front of 2,000. Let me see what you're going to do in front of 4 people. What you going to do in front of 10 people,
Mm-hmm. And then what's crazy about that, to go even deeper when you're talking, and it just hit me right now, thank God for it, is the music starts before you hit the booth. The music starts, the show starts before you hit the stage. So the first 16 you spit is how you live your life.
Yes, sir.
Your integrity off the stage, your character off the stage, because we're not always surrounded by 100 people or 75 or those who get blessed to rock in front of 5,000 a show, whatever the case may be. It's like when the lights are off, who are you? And that's what's most important, because who you are when there's no mic in your hand, it'll transcend when you get to the stage, because you've already been spending that time with God. You've already been connecting. You've already figured out how to connect with people when there's no beat on. So when the beat is on, whether it's a whole sold out arena or just 5 people there, you're going to give it your all. You're going to fellowship and you're going to connect. So I get it, man. I get it.
Look here. Again, whoever looking at this, y'all getting the game tonight. It's free game tonight. I think God just saying keep hollering free game through the mic all night. Yeah. It's free game because these cats got to hit it, man. It's like who are you when the music ain't on?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That I done been around cats, and one thing I don't name drop nobody, but I've seen cats rap for the Lord. And then off camera, it's like that's a whole nother person. I'm like, man, who is this dude? You know what I'm saying? And I done seen that, and I said, okay, it's different. And I just pray for bro or pray for old girl and move on. But, bro, you hit on the head, man. You got to live your life, because I'm big on, God taking notes. You know what I'm saying? And he the one that's, look, it's like earth is like a stage to me. Like we all on this stage in front of him. Okay. And we gonna do what we gonna do, and he just sitting back taking notes. He said, "Okay, I see what you're doing. I see how you're getting down." And you hit on the head, man. Bro, let me ask you this, bro. Okay. So now I'm gonna speed up a little bit.
Okay.
You get to Sway in the morning, New York City. Yo, and so that's why I first got a glimpse. I like to say I got a whiff of it. I got a sniff of Gil Gatsby. I said, say, man, who is this dude on Sway? And I knew you was West Coast, cause West Coast got a tone. Just like the South rappers got a tone. You say, okay, them boys from the South, East Coast, Midwest. I say he a West Coast rapper.
Yeah.
On the East Coast, and when you start rapping, I'm talking you just sprinkling in Jesus got here and that. I said, hey, this dude gospel rap. I know he is. I don't even know this dude, but I know he is. Bro, how long was it when you first started before you got to that stage?
I got to the big stage. Let's see, if we did, my first album dropped in 2001. Mm-hmm. Group dropped 3 by 2005. And then I was on Sway first time in 2011 was the first time. So the time when you got introduced, I think I had the Dodger hat on, but I went there when Sway had first launched the show, when he told me to stop rapping. And I was like, I guess people say, man, you the first gospel dude to come through and shut down Sway. Like people start saying that, and it was all over Rapzilla. And the first time going through there was like, how could he go in there and do all that and not glorify the Father in his music? And I thought I did my thing on that one, but that was the first time. So shout out to my brother. His name is Raw Dog. He does all my production. He knew him before me. He got the call from Sway's partner, King Tech, that they were doing like a hip hop show in LA. And he said, bring my bro down. So I went down there and I rapped, and I was the only cat who didn't cuss. The real Ricky Ross was there, a couple other dudes. And they were like, man, this dude is crazy. He got the crazy voice. He got bars for days and everything. He's the best one in here. So Sway got wind of it and was like, hey, it was a dude you had in there that sounded like the West Coast Rick Ross. Eminem just gave me a show. can you get him to come do some drops for me?
Mm-hmm.
So I did like 2 or 3 freestyle drops for him. And then he gave me a call and said, hey, I got to book you to come down here because everybody is requesting and asking for you. And so at that point, packed my bags, went to New York. I never forget, November 5th, I think it's the day Heavy D had passed.
Right.
And I got busy. And that was the first of 4 trips seeing Sway. He's a good dude. We connected multiple times, and he dropped free game on me just from the perspective of where I am and who I am as an artist, to never stop rapping, never lose the integrity. And it's been great. Like I said, it opened the door to meet, great people like you. I've been able to travel doing it. I've been able to be on big stages because of it. And man, so yeah, 5 years after the group stopped, 6 years after the group stopped, I was introduced to Sway. So I was able to sit down, reset on where I wanted to do with the music, right, solo. And that was the first big thing. And it's crazy because when I was younger, when I was just rapping over the tape, I used to listen to the Wake Up Show, Sway and King Tech, every night. So it's like, it's almost surreal to say God was preparing me. The guy who just wanted to play ball is now, years later, in front of the microphone with Sway, the person that I was like, man, he's the guy. He breaks all the big rappers. M's been on there. Crooked Eye's been on there. Outkast and everything. Is like, now my name is listed with those artists. So just a blessing from God that he put me on that stage.
And I'm gonna say this, bro. And one thing I love about that, first of all, I'm gonna say with Sway, Sway has always shown love to the gospel rap community. Always, always. He's one of the few that get it. He's been in it. He's been at the award shows. He said, hey, this the next thing. I heard him say, he said, this the next thing right here. Exactly. And so shout out to Sway. But what I love is that, what I tell cats all the time is that gospel rap can compete at these stages. You know what I'm saying? When I heard you getting down, I mean, I'm talking about, it's like a pit bull off a chain went up in there. They said, they opened the door, they said, let him loose. And he was loose. And they said, hey, man, you got to stop. Hey, I want to say it was either that one or I think it was that one. When you told them boys, you said, hey, this is Kobe and Madison Square God. I said, say, man, it was over right there. It was over.
I tell you, man.
It was over right there. And I said, this dude right here, he's a gospel. I said, I know he is. When I heard you getting down up in there, I said, I know he is. Yeah. And then, years later, I've been following. I said, I knew it was. Cause it was just, I seen other cats rap on his show. You know what I'm saying? And they're using that. I mean, just clean as Mr. Clean on them boys. I said, he ain't said a cuss word, and he throwing in Jesus and God. And it's like you just sprinkling that sauce on them boys. I said, he's on the kingdom side. And they didn't know that. I was like, they don't know who in the room with them boys.
Exactly. And that was the goal. You said, my goal was wherever I go, and like I said, even if I went in there and just rap, you can't dim the light when it's really in you and you're about God's. You can't dim it. You're gonna look different. You may try, but it's gonna stand out. And from that, it just was a blessing.
Right.
And from that, it still follows me. Almost now 10 years later, it's like, yo, you shut down Sway, and it's like that's something nobody could take away from me.
Right.
And I can always say, I went out there. I didn't compromise at all. I didn't allow the pressure in the room to make me change. I did exactly what God called me to do in that moment. Freestyle, I still didn't slip up. It's like, I'm going to do what God called me to do because somebody in here needs to hear it. And he had one of his co-hosts, Tracy G, was like, yo, you a real man of God.
Right.
And that was a true blessing to hear her say that. And she said that on air. It wasn't in the YouTube video, but it was like, yeah, he's a real man of God. So that's something I can hang my head on.
And it's something you said, bro. And I'm gonna say this again. Okay. Whoever looking at this tonight, y'all getting free game. It's just we just serving it free. Y'all can eat as much of it as you want. It's free game tonight because you said something. You said you went in the room and you didn't compromise. And I see a lot of cats get on these stages, get on these platforms, and it's like they're totally different, or they want to fit in to make the interview good or make the show good. Where it's like now cats need to see somebody standing for righteousness If it's through rapping, if it's through you just on a panel discussion, you talking about the Lord, like the world is so dark. You know,
Yeah,
the situation just happened in Minnesota with the police officer and all that.
man.
The world is so dark
Yeah.
that people got to see the light. The Bible say, be that salt of the earth, be that light of the earth.
Somebody got to
It's
do something.
right,
Somebody got to do it.
right. And that's why I'm glad you said that, bro. You said you didn't compromise. And for me, I'm soaking it up while I'm listening to it. I'm soaking up the game myself. So if don't nobody else want it, I'm getting it. Y'all better soak it up tonight. Y'all,
Yeah, but it's so,
yes,
but it's
sir, man.
fun, man.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, these boys better soak it up. Look here, man. So,
Talking.
man, what is named the Bob Bully? Man, break that Bob Bully down, man. I said, look at. Let me say this before you answer, bro. Let me say, I'm over
Okay.
here rubbing my hands. Let me say this, man. I tell people all the time. I said, I'm one of the few people. I understand what being humble is.
Yeah.
But I'm one of the few people that say, hey, gospel rappers, talk your talk and let these
That's it.
boys know. I said, matter of fact, it was something else before that. You was, man, I can't remember. It just slipped my mind, but you was on that, it was something, it might have been a project you put out a few years ago. You saying Gil Gatsby. And then years later you
Yeah.
say, okay, now you the Bob Bully. And bro, I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
Yo, freestyle skills, man. It's like I put it top 5, bro. Easily.
Man,
Easily.
thank you.
And cause to me, freestyling in 2021, to me it's almost like a lost art.
Correct.
Like cats ain't really like they can say cat, rat, spat, cat. And I'm like, that really ain't doing it. Don't ask me to freestyle. I tell people, hey, I don't freestyle no more. But you give me,
I thought I was about to get busy.
that's a, hey, you give me some paper and a pen and give me the beat and give me a minute, bro. We ready.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I let cats know we ready. I used to freestyle back in the day. I just I do it for playtime. I don't do it for real.
Yeah.
But bro, talk
Yeah.
about the Bob Bully, man. I saw that name. I said, yeah. Let these
Yeah.
boys know, man.
I got you. I got to let them know. So, Bar Bully, at first time I said it was on the song I released called Hunting Season. And
Right.
at that point, I was kind of fed up with how rap was going and everything that was being glorified. And
Right.
so that was the first thing I said, Bar Bully, so you got to respect it. And people start reaching out to me saying, like, man, that's a pretty crazy alias to go by. And so when I would do shows, people just start calling me Bar Bully. But its origination came from that day that they laughed at me.
Right.
Bro, they laughed. The girls laughed at me. They laughed. They was actually singing Stomp and clapping and everything. And I was on some stone bleachers. So I had to walk down the stone bleachers. And I was like, they really think we corny. They really think we soft because in actuality, when I think about it, my rap was just real happy and hey, everybody, I love the Lord. You should love him too. And
Right.
where I was, it was in a dungeon. It was called Stone Bleachers, and it was dudes who didn't believe in God, who was about pimping, who would smoke weed at school and the whole nine. And so I took a minute just to reset, work on my craft, which a lot of don't do. They don't work on their craft. They just pick up the mic and say, I can do it, which I understand. The art form is a lot easier. But I said, when I go up there again, it's going to be different. And so when I went up there, peep this, the first battle I ever had, because I did have a season where I was like a battle rapper. It was against a guy, and his name was Sin. So my first, as a rapper who represents the Lord, my first battle was against a dude named Sin.
They see it.
How crazy is that? How God was setting me up even at that age to say, "Oh, you're gonna be battling sin your whole career." So, Bar Bully, when my voice got deeper and I got more aggressive, and that I channeled that anger for the kingdom to be like, "Y'all not gonna play my God like he's soft."
Already.
That's where the Bar Bully came from. Anytime you hear me rap, anywhere I go, I'm gonna apply all pressure for the kingdom because, like you said earlier, we can rap with the best of them. My goal later in my career was like, I want to go down as one of the greatest of all time, gospel, secular, whatever. But when they break down my catalog, they can go from Choir Boy Reject to Bar Bully, all 7 to 8 projects. There's no compromise, and I've been representing the King the entire time.
I love that. I need that applause button over. I need to incorporate an applause button on the show because let me tell you something, man. I tell cats, I said, man, look here. These boys out here in the streets listening to everything. How to take the Draco and shoot everybody up and then go back home like ain't no consequences. talking about all these fake dope prices on these records and albums and
Yeah.
how to and you got these cats this look here, bro.
Yeah.
Just I'm talking about, and I thank God for this. Just last Saturday, man, my wife and my two daughters was at the mall. They got like this carnival going on at the mall, but they just went out there to shop. Little
Yeah.
cat, 16 years old, shot this dude in the head in front of everybody. 22. They get down in the South, bro. And he took off. They finally found him yesterday. Like he took off, hid somewhere. But I'm like, that's the music that these cats listening to. They saying, look, I can just go knock a joker off his feet. Ain't no
Yeah.
consequences. But when you saying I'm going hard for the kingdom, I'm going hard for the Lord, it's kind of like you putting your foot down and you drawing that line and you saying, hey, we gonna get down over here. So ain't no compromise. Y'all need to come on over here because we ain't coming over there.
You're not coming over there.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
But man, it's I love hearing that because in 2021, I tell cats all the time that at some point, and I had to learn this too. At some point in the gospel rap walk, I like to call it a walk. It's still ministry, but it's still like you walking with the Lord. At some point, you got to put your foot down, and you got to say, "This is what it is."
It's what it
And
is.
so I tell people all the time down here in the South, bro, and I love hearing what you're saying from the West Coast. But I tell people down here in the South all the time, I say, "Look, over here, it ain't nothing but kingdom going on over here.
Absolutely.
It ain't nothing but kingdom because these boys need to be delivered. These boys need to be saved and delivered. And somebody got to be the difference, man. I love you hearing. I love hearing that what you saying because cats got to hit it, bro. Let me go ahead, bro. What you saying?
No, I was gonna say, yeah, we got to be the difference because even with you saying that, on the West Coast, it's a lot of separation. Everybody does their own thing. You have a small group that may connect, but if you notice, a lot of people from the South and the East Coast, they tour on the West Coast and they make an artist or two. But we have enough talent on the West Coast, enough people that do stand for righteousness. If we came together, we could do something even more powerful. But even going deeper than that, what's crazy is, like you said, it is what it is. I may be a cat from the West who's real heavy on the bars and the punchlines and the wordplay. I connect with a cat like you who knows what's going down in the South, and you're not compromising, and we connect and we collab, or somebody else, we can change the world. Like seriously, because we just need 100 of us at one time because it's 1,000 of them.
Man,
they support each other. Everything they do sounds good or not, as long as it's promoting a lifestyle that is contrary to what we really trying to preach, they with it. Just having fun, popping pills, trapping, Dracos, knocking people off. That's all they glorify. But it's going to take me and you and your core unit and my core unit to make a difference. We got to all unify together and say, hey, man, we got to come together and do it better than they doing it. And it's definitely possible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I love that. Boy, I got to give me applause. I promise I got to get an applause button up here, one of them clapping buttons. I'm going to find it this week. I promise. Probably next week on the next on the next week's show, you going to hit that applause. But he said, man, he found it, man. He found that. But, cause look here, man. You hit it on the head, bro. I'm like, I was about to lead into how was the scene on the West Coast. Cause I know in the South, it's a lot of love among the gospel rappers, but it's also a lot of cats want to sit on their own islands and trying to figure out on their own. I'm like, man, now if everybody can just link up, hey, and everybody can still do their own thing, do your thing, but just for those moments, everybody link up and say, hey, let's do some sort of collab or some sort of show or some sort of touring just through the South or from the South to the West Coast or just something to show, just show a unified front. And it'll show, hey, them boys on that gospel rap side, they unified because you right. I tell people all the time, I said, man, I say it's all the time that the street cats, it's like 1,000 of them for every one gospel rapper. It's 1,000 of them boys. I said, for us, we shouldn't be standing on no islands. We shouldn't be sitting here talking about what we ain't gonna do or how we ain't gonna work together. What have you done or what you ain't done? I'm like, no, man, look, if this thing for the gospel, let's put it together. Let's put some prayer, some minds together, and let's see what can we come up with to do something. I'm always down for that stuff, man. Cats that know me know. I'm always down for that.
Yeah.
Look, I'm talking about then rap in the projects, ghettos, churches, stages, wherever. You know, I'm
Everywhere.
down for stuff like that, man. Let me ask you this, bro.
Okay.
The overall gospel rap scene, bro. What's your
Yes.
thoughts on it from when you started to where it is
Okay.
right now? And you can answer that any
Okay.
way you want to answer, man.
I got you. Let's say you brought the bar bully in, right? I don't
Yes,
like
sir. Yes, sir.
everybody. Right now, we're working reverse. Everybody sounds the same.
Right, right.
We took the sound of the world, like I said, the South. You know, where you at, the South, y'all dominating the cadence and the sound and
Right.
the trap beats and the drill beats and everything. But it seems like everybody's doing the same thing
Right.
in order to remain relevant. And I understand being relevant in a game that's constantly changing. However, if we sound like the world, it sometimes gets hard and the message gets diluted.
I like that.
Process. So now, if you go back to the beginning, when we were in the big beginning, it seemed like everybody was, whatever you say for Jesus, okay, give it a thumbs up.
Mm-hmm.
The production wasn't the best. Some of the lyrics were kind of corny. It didn't hit the way that it should.
Mm-hmm.
Through time, people got saved, people changed up, and it became stronger when the production got better. The videos got better. People start being more creative, so it's not corny anymore. Nobody can look at it and say that it's corny. But now in 2021, where everybody can go buy a video camera, record a video, everybody has their own studios, everybody's a rapper, everybody's a producer, everything sounds the same.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of tough. We got a few cats, like you look at the OGs, Petty, he was big in the game for a minute. BBJ, when he started off, it was a different sound. Cross Movement, The Truth, Lecrae, Flame. We can go down the list of the OGs, you could say, or those who broke through. That's like that. Now that they've kind of transitioned into not being as active, putting out music and starting off labels, the only person that you truly have active right now is God Over Money. They're doing their thing. Reach Records is kind of, teetering. They put artists out, Lecrae does his thing, whatever the case may be. But where we are right now, everybody sounds the same because it doesn't seem as if the gatekeepers of the culture are making sure that we keep that excellence. It seems like the gatekeepers have moved on and the kids running wild in the house.
Take, bro, look here, bro. Bro, look here, man. Look here. Take that deeper, bro. I know where you finna go with it, man. But for folks who listening, you hit, it's like you hit that thing in the head with a sledgehammer. Bro, take that thing deeper. I like what you said. You said the gatekeepers don't want to do nothing, and so the kids running wild now.
Kids running wild. They're putting out whatever they want. They're not worrying about the lifestyle. It's like gospel rap, Christian rap is just an occupation now, like everything else. And they can live however they want. They can post however they want. They can be reckless online, and there's nobody to press them. It's almost like, it's a process. They got mental health. They'll get it right later. There's nobody to say, come here, you need to sit down and we need to get it right because you're making the Father look bad now.
Man.
Based on how you live your life, do people want to get to know the Father, or are they going to retreat from you based on how you living? I know the beat is cool. I know they think you swag. The drip is right, and you're getting money at these shows because you're looking like the world. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done and you're no longer rapping and you look back at your career, did you lead people closer to Jesus or did they fall further away?
Man, look here. I'm a pause on that. Cause man, look here. You hit in the head, bro. Because you see the game. You see the game, bro. Cause that's what it is. That's what it and that's a good question. Are you leading cats closer to the Lord, or are you just doing this thing for yourself? Yeah. And I see both sides of that. I see from down here, I see both sides of it. And I'm like, it's and that was a good analogy. How you said, the gatekeepers. I'm gonna go back to that. You said the gatekeepers, or the quote unquote gatekeepers, they not pressing these cats to do what they need to do. And then I'm gonna say this too. Let me add one more to that.
Okay.
A lot of the younger cats, I talked to some of the younger cats.
Okay.
It's like, and some of them, and I'm real careful about talking to these boys, not because they think they grown. They think they
Right.
done figured it
They got
out.
the answer.
They say, hey, man,
Yeah.
I done listened to you from years ago. I ain't listening to you no more. I'm going to do my thing. I say, hey, I respect that. I get that. I said, but you got to talk to cats who got a roadmap. You
Absolutely.
out here without no GPS, you going to crash. They going to say,
You
hey,
gonna
man, we
crash.
telling you, hey, don't go down that road. Now I get it. Don't go down that road. And then, boom. That
Right.
boy sitting in the hospital somewhere, he done crashed.
You
Man,
gonna
you
crash.
you, you done hit
Yeah.
it in the head, and then when they come back
Yeah.
trying to holler at me, I'm say, man, what I tell you? And that's all I'm
Exactly.
gonna tell you. Then I'm gonna be like, nah, I'm finna go. Cause look here, man, I got kids at the house. I ain't got time to be trying to tell grown folks to do things, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really don't. I really don't.
Yeah.
I might tell you once or twice. You ain't trying to. It ain't like I'm out here telling you how to get it out the mud, get in the streets, fake
Yeah.
dope prices, go get your Draco,
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
just go kill
Yeah.
everybody. I'm telling you, like,
Right.
hey, this how gospel rap is supposed to be. And bro, let me
Really
ask you this:
talk to me.
what's been your response when you talking to the younger cats coming up now? What
Yeah.
have they? How have they? Have they gravitated to you, or just say, "Hey, bro, I'm good. Let me do my thing, and you do your thing." Like, what's been the response when you talking to cats out there?
Man, in West Coast, I get a lot of respect. I get a lot of respect. They look at me as because I've been in the game for
Right,
a long time. People, often say like respectfully, like you wanted to catch for the West Coast that
right,
deserve respect because you've been putting it down for 20 years.
right,
So when cats come at me now, I know the music has changed. So I'm not trying to get them to rap or put out music the way that I put it out.
right,
But something
right,
that you just said is when you talk to them, they feel like they have it all together. So what I figured out is how to communicate with them to
right.
try and help them to be the best at what they're doing in this moment, because the main thing for me is to make sure that their heart is right, to make sure
Mm-hmm,
that their marriage is right. So the
mm-hmm.
music is cool. We may not be the same, but let me just make sure that when you on the road, you good, and you and the wifey is good, and when you leave, you cool. And if you doing this where you're getting paid, to make sure financially is good, so that you're not in a position to where you're putting all your eggs in the basket to try and make it just doing music. Because if it doesn't happen, does that mean that you failed as an artist or as a
Right.
believer? It doesn't. But sometimes when people don't see the money Drake gets or the money these even the Craig gets or whatever the case may be, it makes them say, I'm gonna go find something else to do. Or on the West Coast, what has happened, a lot of people have taken off their gospel road and now they went back to the street.
Mm, mm. Man, it's good. Whoever looking at this the refill.
You
I'm
feel
your
me now?
host, Ron Daniel, and we got Gil Gatsby on tonight. Look here, it ain't nothing but a game. It's free
Yeah.
tonight. It's whoever looking at this. It's free tonight. Y'all better get this. It's free
Yeah.
tonight. That's hey, I'm telling you, bro. The Lord just put that one in my spirit. It's free tonight because
Yeah.
I'm telling you, man. You hit it on the head, cause I've seen it down here. And I've reached
Mm-hmm.
out to cats and I said, hey, man, you good? You all right? I'm seeing you on social. One thing about social media, I tell people is this. Me and my wife talk about this all the time. Is that
Okay.
one thing about social media, if you study it enough, you can get a glimpse of how people mindset is by what they
All
post
the way. All
all
the
day
way.
long. And so when I see cats that used to go hard for the Lord, I'm talking about, man, will make the room shake. I'm talking about, bro, goosebumps when they on stage and like, hey, man, these
Yeah.
boys going in. And
They're going
now,
in. Yeah.
and now you see them. It's like they done went back. They done reverted back to those streets, and you just trying to reach out, just trying to gauge how they thinking. Where they head at.
Yeah.
Some responded. Some have. A lot of them have, but few responded. And you hit it on the head, man. It's that the money issue. We're gonna tap into that a little bit. The
Yeah.
money issue.
Yeah.
That's one of the main things gospel rap cause. You said something earlier about how you said you did 40 some shows, bro. I did about right at 75 before I
No
got
question.
a penny. And I'm not talking
Yeah.
about the merch. I'm not talking about
Yeah.
the CD sales and the
Yeah.
T-shirts. I'm talking about when somebody say, "Hey, we're gonna bring you here. We're gonna pay for everything."
Yeah.
And so cats be like, "Man, no, man." I said, "Man, I was rapping for hot dog sandwiches and hamburgers and some church chicken plates, Joker." They say it's over. They say, all right, y'all make sure before that brother leave, he go
Yeah.
go to the kitchen and some sister or some dude come out with some food, man. Say, hey, how many of y'all here? It's 4 of
Yeah.
y'all. We got some to goes for y'all. I said, Joker, I done drove 4 hours for the to go plates, Joker. So he's like, no, man. I said, man, I'm for real. I done been down through that
Yeah.
with it. I said,
Yeah.
the only person who can back up everything I'm saying is my wife, man, because she been with me through, I would say 96, 97% of all this stuff, man.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, bro, you hit it on the head, man. And these cats, man, it's like that. If it's one thing that bothers me about gospel rap is
Yeah.
seeing the cats that go hard or went hard for the
Yes.
king. I'm talking about, bro, super hard. I'm talking about the
Yes.
cats I done worked alongside with. We going in the
Yeah.
projects. I'm talking about the real projects. I'm talking about rapping across the
Yes.
street from the dope boys, and they looking at you like, "What y'all doing out here?"
Yeah.
And we like, give us a minute. We gonna show y'all. You know, y'all sit tight, and we gonna don't move. We ain't
Exactly.
going nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
and now
Yeah.
I see them doing something else. That's one thing that bothers me. But then the money part, a lot of cats, man, and you was hitting on it. A lot of cats, it's like they too afraid to talk about. They say, okay, I rap for Jesus, I do it for free. But I'm like, we need money to survive. You
Yes.
know, ain't nobody going to work 4 hours. I mean, not 4, but 40 hours on a job.
Right.
And then when it's time to get paid,
Like
the
it's
boss
cool.
man say, hey man, you good? We thank you for your
Yeah.
40 hours. Man, you gonna try to kick that whole building down to get your money.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
so I'm
You know,
like,
you don't want a chicken sandwich that day. You want that 40 hours.
I need that 40 hours. I need it to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I
Exactly.
don't even want no electronic deposit. Cut me a check right now. Go in that room and write me a check today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, so, bro, you hit on the head because that's one of the things of gospel rap. A lot of gospel rap, to me, artists, they afraid to talk about making the money because they always want to revert to that scripture, money's root all evil. And I always ask them like, well, are you doing something evil with the money? Well, no,
Right.
bro, you know me. I said, well, man, that ain't talking to you. That's not
Yeah.
talking to you. God know we need money to continue. It's just like this podcast. That's why every week I ask whoever listening to this podcast, I always ask for, hey, make a donation because we need to stay on the internet.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
take money to stay on the internet. It take money to say if something break down, we gotta buy something. You know, so bro, tap on a little
Okay.
bit deep on that money part, the business
Yeah.
side, and why you
Yeah.
think cats don't I'm gonna say this before I ask you.
Okay.
To me, it's like gospel rap, this Ron Daniel opinion. To me, I think we all, myself included, have set a bad tone with the promoters and saying we will come for free, we'll come for free, we'll come for free. And I've been
Yeah.
in churches where I've seen churches take up $15,000, $20,000 offerings, bro.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
look at me and they say, hey, thank you. And they send you home. And you go
That's
home and you might have sold about 8, 9, 10 CDs and about 10 shirts and you good on the merch.
you good. Yeah.
But you like, hey, I just saw them pull up about 4 big gold buckets, garbage can buckets of money. And they took it to the back and they tipping, they looking at me like, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, bro, talk
Like,
about that money, right, man? Talk about that money part and why we not asking for it, man.
I think for the most part, we most don't get paid because they don't value what the artists do. It's
Right,
almost
right,
insert that talent here. We have kids at the church, find a local rapper who's good, bring him in, and he'll do it, for the platform because they don't
right,
really respect. For those that do, you are correct. A lot of times, because artists have a heart, most artists, I would say like almost 95, 90 to 95%, just
right,
have a heart they want to serve and give. That, and some promoters might be a friend that you'll just come in on strength, or it
right.
might be a youth pastor you're cool with, or a pastor that's you're cool, or you go to the church, so you're willing to do it. So now we do have some artists who do get paid, and they get paid well to do music because they're doing it at an excellent level. But for the independent artists, we have to get to a point to where, one, we're making sure the lifestyle is on point. Again, making sure that we're living a life that is pleasing in God's eyes, and also that we are providing excellent ministry. We're not coming to the show late. We're not coming to the show half-hearted. We coming
Yes,
in
sir.
locked in on time, held accountable. When the sound check is a certain time, get there early, make sure that we're ready to go, be respectful to the house, whether it be in church or out of church, because again, you are representing the Father. And when you do that, people will at that point begin to respect you for what you do. And when they bring you out, they won't attempt to bring you out for free because they respect what you're doing. And I think it's just the fact that we haven't for a long time presented ourselves in excellence or even in a position of business the correct
Right.
way to ask for finance, that we just say, it's okay, you can do a love offering or just give me what you got. That's just not the way it works.
Right.
You're not gonna get one of these other artists to come out. They getting hundreds of thousands of dollars and they promoting evil. And
Right.
even if we're not trying to get hundreds of thousands, God is still going to bless us for doing the music. So it's okay for you if you're set up, especially if this is what you do. If you're
Uh-huh.
pursuing this as a normal 9 to 5, just to do music for the kingdom of God, I understand. But sometimes we fall short. And again, it's because they don't really respect what we do anyway. And two, we don't even know how to represent ourselves as true businessmen.
Right, right, right. And let me say this, bro. That's why if whoever listening to this, again, you getting the game for free tonight. It's take the notes, rewind the video, and just take the notes, because
Yeah.
gospel rap, to me, I've said this for years and years and years and years, and it was right at the point the Lord told me. And let me tell you, bro. And I tell you this all the time.
Okay. Okay.
Let me tell you how we even get started presenting a contract in front of people. Because
Yeah.
when you start up, you like, oh man, have I done enough, or do I
Yeah.
have a following to bring in folks? You know what I'm saying? You thinking
Yeah.
those things, and
Yeah.
so what did it for us was I was called in to open up for Ty Tribbett, the singer,
Okay.
and cause one of the headliners had dropped out. So a cat that came to my show, I want to say 2 weeks before, he just called me out the blue. He said, "Hey man, look," he said, I came to your show. I thought about you. Tad Tribbett coming to town on this day, bro. Can you open up?" He said it's gonna be probably about 4,000, 5,000 youth there be there. Cause the church is super big. And so,
Yeah.
but they was combining, I want to say maybe 3 or 4 churches at this event. It was probably about 4,000, 5,000 youth there. Cats just getting
Okay.
down. So
Yeah.
we went to a meeting, maybe I want to say maybe 4 days before the show happened. And I
Okay.
went in the room, and I remember two things. The first thing I remember, I never seen a desk. It was a cherry wood table. I never seen a table so shiny, man. I
Yeah.
told bro, I said, before we get this meeting started, man, I got to get me one of these
Yeah. Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, okay, I tell you what we got. I said, okay, cool. I know it costs some money, so let me get my money up, and I'm gonna get one of these. And then the second
Yeah. Yeah.
thing was, when we started talking about the dollars and the cents, and so he said, well, we paid Ty Tribbett 17,500. And he
Okay.
looked at me in the same voice. He said, no, we ain't got no more money. And I said, well, man, hold up. Hold on. You just told me you paid this man
Yeah.
17,000, and you
Yeah.
want me to come in? Y'all got 4,000 folks here. So we figured out something. We worked something.
Okay. Okay. You
It
worked
was
something out.
yeah, we worked something out. It
It was more than
it,
the sandwich. It was more than the sandwich. You ain't come
it
out
was
there for
more
no.
than the same. Right? Hey, bro, we worked something out, man. But after that, the Lord
Yeah.
put in my spirit. He said, "Hey, you start presenting them contracts in front of folks." And so the moment I was just trying to be obedient. Soon as I did it, I got a phone call from somebody that was at that show. He said, "Hey, I live 2 hours away. Can you come down here to our church? We bringing 3 churches together." He said, "We're gonna pay you. Send me your contract. How much you paid?" I just started laughing. I said, "Okay, Lord, you told me to set up for this." And so,
Yeah.
you know, I think for a long time, gospel rap, we set this tone out there
Yeah.
that we just come in and we'll just
Yeah.
do it
We're
for
just
free.
we're doing because
Right.
we love the Lord.
We
Yeah.
love the Lord. We're gonna sweat. We're gonna crease our J's up. We're gonna sweat out these fitted caps. And we're gonna go look at Joker like me gonna go buy a fresh fit probably before he ever show. My wife will tell you that much. She said, that Joker,
Yeah.
yeah, he gonna get right. I remember
Yeah.
Nashville when I debuted though, Ferrari Red 14s on them boys. They lost their mind out there, man, in Nashville. Shout out to that boy Carlos Hale, he remember. And so
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, they
Absolutely.
lost their mind. Tell me, man, how you get those? Man, I sat in line, I couldn't even get them. I said, well, man, I thank God I cut I had a barber shop at the time that I owned. I said, I cut all
Okay.
the shoe boards. So every Friday,
Awesome.
like, hey, bro, you want them?
Yeah.
Yeah, cash out, PayPal.
Okay. Favor and fair.
That's it,
Favor
I'm
and fair.
good. I ain't
Yeah.
standing in no line. And so the thing is, man, hey, these cats, you hitting it on the head tonight, bro. Let me ask you this, man.
Yeah. Talk to me.
So you on the West Coast.
Yes.
Where do you see gospel rap going the next 5, 10 years?
Next 5, 10 years. kind of tough to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of tough to see. Like I said, the gatekeepers have to get back in position and really
Right.
start to, what's missing. Two things are missing: accountability, and then artist development is missing.
Right. 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 I like that.
Those are the two things that need to be put back in place: accountability to make sure, and discipleship to make sure that they are being held accountable.
Right.
There's a spot out here on the West Coast, and it's called Club Judah.
Mm-hmm.
And when you book for Club Judah, you had like the contract she presented was, who's your pastor, what's your character,
Right.
how often do you go to church, those types of things, because she knows that the pastor and wife were held accountable to what they allowed the rappers to come and speak to their youth or
Right.
whoever was in the building. So in the next 5-10 years, if we can get a handful of people that will kind of just say, hold on, let's make sure that you're right before you present to the world,
Mm-hmm.
writing, I think then we'll be in good hands. But right now, everybody raps. And it's kind of hard to get control of that because, somebody listening to this today may say, hey, Gil, you cool. I'm going to start rapping tomorrow like you, and go buy all the equipment, and they can have a song out by Sunday night.
Right. Right. Right.
So, so it's not as disciplined as it used to be. But accountability and development will help restore the sound, the excellence that we need in the genre.
Right. I agree with you, man, 1,000% on that because
Yeah.
I remember not even a long time ago. I want to say, we in 2020. I want to say maybe 10 years ago. That's when
Yeah.
all the music conferences was going on, and it
Yeah.
was a lot. It was a lot. Holy hip hop to me. You remember the Holy Hip Hop Awards in Atlanta?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
To me, I tell cats all the time. I said we did our show here called the Lifeline in this city, and cats was come wherever. I said, but in Atlanta, to me, that was the Super Bowl of gospel rap. Joker, Joker,
Yeah.
when they picked us 5 years to get in that thing and rock with them boys, but
Yeah.
I remember talking to I won't say his name, Danny Wilson, the cat that's over it, or that started it,
Yeah.
and I just pulled him to the side. I said, man, what's our process? He was talking about no. We went to a panel, and he was at a panel in Nashville, and he was talking about the process of how they select artists for that show. He was like, they was getting like 500 submissions, but they only picked the top 100. And so he was like, if you was part of the top 100, we were feeling what you doing. And so to me, that was like, I think more of those conferences need to come back. We working on ours to hopefully, Lord willing, to resurrect that thing back, hopefully this year in October, and get that thing going.
I'll take that trip down there. Let me know.
Bro, look here, if God say the same, and if all this COVID stuff going out the way, man, we want to do it in house. I see people starting to move around. Matter of fact, before we started this interview, I was looking on Sports Center. They talking about the Lakers finna open up. The Lakers, my team. I'm gonna let y'all boys know. I tolerate LeBron. I'm not a LeBron James fan, but I tolerate him. But I'm a Lakers all day, 24/7, and the rest of y'all team ain't talking about nothing. So I just had to plug that in real quick. Yes, sir. I had to plug that in real quick. I'm Lakers all that, man. They cut me open. It ain't nothing but purple and gold blood in my body. And so I let them boys know, man. I tolerate LeBron a little bit, but I'm Kobe, I'm Magic, I'm Shaq. You know what I'm saying? I can go down, all of them, man. And so, but I think for me, what's missing are those conferences, and Lord willing, hopefully if COVID gone, we can do it in-house. If not, then we can do it virtual. We working on, we're looking at both scenarios right now. But, bro, I'm telling you, man, I think that's missing, where cats that's yourself, like yourself, that can sit down and chop it up, and everything you saying tonight, cats can hit it for the next cast that's coming through the gospel rap pipeline. And they say, okay, I remember listening to Gil Gatsby, and he said this, and that, and I'm going to apply that to what I'm doing. And so
they can make it fit their platform and take it to a point where I never took it.
Right. Because I tell people all the time, man, I said, one of the reasons why we built this podcast is not just to highlight gospel rap as a whole, but to also create an avenue. And I'm not doing this for no pats on the back, so whoever looking, I'm not doing it for no pats on the back. If y'all donate some money, we not going to buy J's and fitted hats and rims for the Chevy. We ain't doing all that. I said, what we doing is we putting this money up. I tell anybody, if you want to see me, how I use the money. Come with me to Guitar Center. We need to buy a microphone, Joker, and you gonna see us take that money
Yeah.
and give it to them
We'll
for
take
some
them up,
microphone, right, and some cables and stuff, so we can make the show better. But what we're doing with this platform is just building it because gospel rap need media. We don't, you
Yeah.
know, if the cats in the street can drop a song, and they already got the DJs playing at the strip club, the DJs playing on the radio, the DJ pool system, so they can just put it in all these DJs, they got millions or 500,000 followers, and they can hear that song. I said, but gospel rap don't have that. We got DJs,
Oh,
we
right.
got
But
some
we don't have the
media,
platforms. We
right,
don't have the platforms. Yeah.
right. We don't have the
We create
platform,
the
man.
platform.
And
Yeah.
so we need that. I know that's missing in gospel rap, bro.
Yeah,
And so
we just need the outlet because so you're one of the leaders of the platform. That's Not Christian is another one.
right,
UMG Digital, they play a lot of artists
right,
now. Shout out to Andre Mullen, DJ Tony Tone,
right,
DJ iRock,
right.
Blue. So it's a cover. It's a lot of cats out there who are still pushing it. Holy Culture that are trying to get this thing out there. So if we can get a handful that can be as committed as you are to remain consistent, to really hold up that standard, we'll take over.
Yes, sir.
So while y'all putting it together, and the other thing I was gonna say too, that's crazy. During the last year of COVID, it really shook people up because nobody was able to go outside. So either artists got right or they fell all the way off. So
right.
This last year got everybody the chance to really hone in on their skills, see if they really want to do it. And now that things are kind of opening up, music should sound different, hopefully,
right.
when everybody's able to navigate and go back to shows. So my prayer is that those who have been really seeking the Lord really put their pen to the pad and they're ready to come with excellence. They start hitting these streams, so it's going to happen.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Bro, let me ask you this, bro. What's next for the Bar Bully, man?
Bar Bully. So Bar Bully, the album dropped on January 16th. So far, it's been doing excellent numbers online. If you don't have that, go get that. You can get your Bar Bully hoodie, a t-shirt. Just hit Gil Gatsby, GILGATSBY. And this Sunday, I'll be filming that 25-year concert. So I'm going to go live and record about an hour of material. I'm going to go from the first album to the present album and just give people a celebration. It's my thank you to the game for everyone who's been supporting me over the last 20 plus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Already, bro. Already. Bro, and the last word before we get off this thing, bro.
Man, God is love. Remember this, John 10:10. The enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy, but God has come that you have life and life more abundantly. Don't believe anything the devil says because everything he says is a lie. He's the father of lies and the truth is not in him. But we serve a God whose word will never return void and he cannot lie. So anything God has promised you, no matter how old you are, how young you are, how educated you are, whatever you've gone through in your past, if God said it's going to happen, it's going to happen. The will of God is not automatic, but you have to lock in and put in some work. Faith without works is dead. So I need to see and hear some testimonies about everybody that's going hard for the kingdom because everything God promised you is going to come to pass.
Already, bro. How can everybody follow you on social media, bro?
Yeah, so find me on. I'm everywhere on social media: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube at GILGATSBY at Gil Gatsby, GILGATSBY. Reach out to me. Give me a thumbs up. You need prayer. You want to know how to get to the music easier. Let me know, and I'll send a link to you. I'm always accessible. I'm not too busy to respond to a message. So definitely reach out to me and I'll respond back.
Already, bro. We appreciate you for jumping on. I'm going to tell you this, man. We got the link up, man. I'm telling you that one thing I tell cats all the time. Yeah. If I'm in your town, bro, I'm going to find you, man. I'm a fan. I'm telling you, bro. I'm on the West. Hey, bro, I'm so ready to move around, man. All we've been doing for the last year is just, last year when nobody moving doing nothing. And then this year, everybody kind of like, all right, okay, we ready to move around now. So we were just talking. I'm talking about just at the house. My daughters, I got a 15-year-old, 6-year-old. They like, Daddy, we want to go somewhere. I'm like, baby, we can't go nowhere. I'm not walking around with mask on at the beach nowhere. So no, man, that ain't gonna work for me, man. But hey, yes, sir, yes, sir. All on my face, man. My face dark around my mouth and this light around. No, man, I ain't doing that, man. Nah,
Come on,
but
thing.
bro,
Yeah,
hey, anytime, hey, bro, when I'm on the West, bro, that's my
yeah,
word. I'm gonna find you, bro.
yeah,
When I'm physically
yeah,
on the West Coast, you anywhere in the South,
yeah.
bro. You close to the Rock Town, bro.
Absolutely.
Just find me, man. I'm here.
Absolutely, I will definitely, man. Well, I appreciate you again for having me on the platform. I'll make sure I share this multiple times because people need to hear what we talked about tonight.
Already,
Bless and thank you. Man. Thank you.
already. Big dog salute, man. We're gonna get off this thing, man.
All right, bro.
And that's the show for tonight. That's the refill. Listen, that was another good show. I hope y'all. I hope y'all listen to it, man. I hope y'all get the game. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all was inspired. If you a gospel rap artist, if you work in gospel rap, I hope you listen to what Gil Gatsby, the bar bully. I like that name, the bar bully. Cause I broke at them bars for real. But I hope y'all was inspired. I hope y'all was listening. I hope y'all took in something that can help better your career or help better your life, and just listen and say, okay, I need to apply what they saying and what he said to your life. You know what I'm saying? That's why we built this platform. It's for y'all. You see what I'm saying? It's not for us to get pats on the back. We know people gonna salute us and give us the big dog salute for doing things, and we receive that. But we really built this platform for y'all, for whoever looking at this. I don't know who looking at this, but whoever you are, you a star. But it's for y'all. You see what I'm saying? And so we're going to continue to push. We're going to continue to grind. We're going to continue to figure out how to make this platform bigger and better, and make each show bigger and better. And so we got another show tomorrow night, Friday night. Every Thursday, every Friday. That's when the Refill Live is on. It's a live podcast. So there's no script. It's everything is just, good conversation. Listen, before we get off this thing, please help us grow by liking, sharing, commenting. Just do that for us, if you will. Also, if you want to donate to the show, you can donate. Look at the bottom. You'll see some information about how you can donate through PayPal, Cash App, and Venmo. Soon we have the website ready to go. Lord willing, we have it ready before this month is over. We still just kind of tighten up some things on the website, and we just we're building something interactive for the artists, for the DJs, for the promoters, the influencers, and for people that's watching the show. We're building something for y'all, something big and something super. And so, other than that, this is the end of show number 32. Y'all come back tomorrow night for show number 33. We got another great artist coming on the show from the East Coast, Midwest, but he's on the East Coast time, so we're going to bring him on tomorrow night. Until then, listen, if you're an artist, if you're a DJ, influencer, promoter, if you want to come on the show, look at the info at the bottom. You see an email. Just send your information to that email. People are submitting. We getting ready for June and July. We booking for June and July right now because April and May are totally booked. I want to say that's the next 16 or 17 shows. They totally booked for April and May. And so we're working on June and July right now. June, July, and I say August. I throw in August too. So we're working for we booking now for June, July, and August. And then once that fill up, we're gonna start booking for September, October, November, and December. So we moving, we grinding, we trying to figure this thing out. We're trying to, grow and make it bigger and bigger and bigger, and build this platform where artists and anyone that's rocking in the gospel rap culture, they can come on anytime. We can just chop it up about what's going on as far as what they doing, the trends in gospel rap, and just et cetera, et cetera. So we're glad y'all tuned in. I'm gonna get off this. I'm gonna give y'all the big dog salute and the boom boom, and we're gonna see y'all tomorrow night.